Sacramento City, California. You're listening to The Second Column with Joe, Mike, Carlos, and Sean.
Hello and welcome to The Second Column podcast. We are joined this week by a guy who discovered us through listening, a friend of Josh Meindertsma's. He's the marketing guru, I'll say, down at the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, and he's a great guy, Andrew Wantuck. Let's welcome him.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem.
It's quite an honor.
I have to say really quick, I don't know which is more surprising. One, that he discovered us just by listening to us.
Right.
Or two, that Josh Meindertsma has a friend.
I know. I know. Now, we only have 45 minutes. Can you explain Josh Meindertsma to us?
Oh, my God.
Because we need the whole
We should just buy his book.
By one word.
One word to describe Josh Meindertsma.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's all I
agreed.
We'll have him back on the podcast. and-
Yeah, especially when Josh makes it famous or gets in the news or whatever.
Or notorious. Yeah,
You're probably getting the news.
Or whatever happens, we'll definitely have Andrew back. Now, Andrew happens to work down at the Comedy and Magic Club, which is a cool gig because that's the place where, and everybody in LA knows this, that's where Jay Leno plays on Sunday nights.
That's correct.
It's very
Yep.
well known. And it's also a great club because people, they treat it like a road gig, right? You explained
Yeah,
this
that's
before the
right.
show,
Yeah,
so.
we have headliners featured and MCs, so it's an opportunity to do a longer set, even though we're in Los Angeles.
Exactly, and you do some stand up yourself. Also.
That's right. Yeah, I've done some. I go out on the road with Eddie Gosling once in a while. I don't know if you know who he is, and I've performed with Daniel Tosh. But
Okay, cool.
sweet.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
cool. How would you describe your act to somebody who wanted to know what it was like?
Observational.
Observational humor.
I like it. I like
Nice.
it.
Oh, that's the best
Nice.
kind.
We'll get ready for 45 minutes of observational magic right here. Very nice.
I think George Carlin was a little bit observational in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
He was part observational and part philosopher, I think.
Commentary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Commentary.
Yeah,
So
I would
he was
agree.
one of my favorites, actually. So.
Yeah, I actually write a column myself that's in a newspaper down in the South Bay called the Easy Reader.
Oh, cool.
And I got to interview George Carlin about 2 months ago.
Whoa.
So
Really?
It ended up being one of the last interviews. I talked to him for like 40 minutes.
That's great.
That
yeah,
must
it was
have
really,
been
it was like an
fantastic.
honor of my life.
Tell you
to
what,
talk to him.
Andrew, send me the link and I'll put it on the site so
Yeah.
people can check
Oh,
it out.
man, I would
absolutely.
love to
I wanna
read
read
that.
that.
Yeah, everybody would. That's really cool. Well,
that's-
very nice.
Wow.
And Andrew discovered the Second Column podcast because Josh Meindertsma was on your computer and logged you in and subscribed you to it.
Subscribed you to it.
yeah.
So he basically raped your computer.
Whoa.
No, Josh
and
Meindertsma,
inseminated it with the Second Column podcast.
He sits down at my computer all the time and just downloads the strangest things in the history of mankind. Like it's so weird. He'll download creepy, weird Euro porn.
I like it.
Like I was actually sitting there with my girlfriend the other day, and we were clicking on stuff, and all of a sudden this picture popped up. She's like, "Oh, what's this?" I'm like, Josh Meindertsma." And she was like, "Yeah, sure it is." No, I'm like, "I'm serious. Look at this. There's like umbrellas everywhere. And, like, it was just so
Oh my God.
weird."
Can you send me that link? Can you send me that?
Yeah, you can put it on the site.
All right, put it on the site, please, Joe.
Oh man, umbrella porn.
It was
awesome.
so.
Well, what do they think of next?
It was still photo.
That's great. That's super great. Very cool. So we're excited to have Andrew here. I wanted to report on one thing before we get to the column. I went and saw Sean's band play last week. Sean's in a band called the Flash.
a real band.
Yes, a real band. Which,
Right.
Not the game rock band, not Guitar Hero.
no, I know. Real instruments.
Sean's in a band. There's 7 guys in this band and a girl.
About, I'd say anywhere between, there's about 6 to 10 members at any given
is
time.
this
You
Sly
guys,
Stone?
you guys have more guitarists than Tesla. There's
Whoa.
like 5
That's
guitarists.
saying a lot.
There were
No,
four,
no.
There were 4 guitarists.
Yeah.
I play rhythm. There's another guy who plays.
You're one of the 3 rhythm players.
I'm pretty much one of the
Like
3 rhythm
if 2
players.
rhythm guys got they'd still have you. If 2 went
exactly.
down.
And I actually the lead singer of the band is also a rhythm guitarist in the band.
That's funny.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
And said to me, when one of you guys is missing, like it really, I just don't feel. I feel like with that 4th guitarist really fills it out. And I was like, you are lying to my face. He's Mark Saul, who's an avid listener of the podcast, and who should one day maybe be a guest.
Absolutely.
He's the lead singer of the band. Him and his friend Danny actually are the lead singers and the songwriters of the band, and they just hire anyone really
Yeah.
What's
So
the-
we could be in the
Sure.
band.
Sure.
Anyone
Yeah.
who wanted to be in the band could be in the
Apparently,
band.
if you spend a month or two with the kid, and he'll let you in his
Cool.
band.
He'll let
you in his
as,
band.
as I show.
I like it.
I like how he lacks for confidence. Even though he's like up there singing, he wrote the songs.
Right.
He's a successful actor. Like he's got all this behind him, and he's like, as good as things are, I just need a fourth rhythm guitar.
Well, actually, so honestly, where I think a lot of it came from, at least with the first show we played, I feel like he knew what a flake we are as his friends. So he triple booked everybody. And then he realized we're really, really good friends to him. We're just
Right.
flakes to other people. So we all showed up. And it was like, oh, we got 2 drummers and 4 guitars.
Yeah, it's Steely Dan dueling drummer.
Yeah.
deal.
Jeez.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was a good show. It was fun. You guys drew a good crowd.
Yeah, it wasn't that
what's-
bad. Some good people.
But the funny thing was, Sean was playing the entire time and he couldn't hear himself because
I
the monitor for his guitar was on the other side.
was on the other side, yeah. So I couldn't hear myself, but I was really happy in the knowledge that probably no one else could hear me too.
Right.
So I just was like, I'm just gonna look like I'm having a good time.
Right.
I
And
would have
that'll
just got
translate.
off. I would have just
Yeah.
unplugged and just got the hell out of there.
Yeah, you did. The funny thing about Sean too was like during the first 5 to 10 minutes, you did a lot of mugging for the audience, like a lot of like, I'm having a good time, like that. But then like it was like a 55-minute set,
Jeez.
and after like the first 10 minutes, you just gave up and you were just kind of like, I'm gonna stare above the crowd.
Well, no, there was they had a projector going kind of as like ambiance, and they had this movie, I think it was Hercules
Yeah.
versus the Pod People or something like that. Hercules versus some aliens.
I don't
And
know.
I just started watching the movie at a certain point because there were some pretty interesting scenes there.
So-
And then I zoned out and would kind of come back into it and go like, oh shit, we're not practicing.
That's all right.
There's an audience. I should probably pay attention.
I hope you never get hired by Pink Floyd to play guitar.
No, that'd be cool if he did, because they could really get into it, man.
Right.
But yeah,
get
Mark
high.
and Danny, and most of the band are very, very talented musicians. I myself, I think, kind of was I was kind of the C- that weighed down the curve.
Nah, I don't know.
So I
about
kept it going for people. But they're a very solid band, and I will send you a link you can put on the site.
All right,
What's the
we'll
band
So
name?
it'll be a link friendly.
flashcards.
The flashcards.
Flashcards.
Okay,
Cool.
very good.
Is that one word or 2 words?
One word.
And I like you guys in spite of the fact that there was a xylophone on stage.
There was a xylophone on stage.
Usually that's a big.
What
I
is
know.
that?
Yeah, it's like ding dong. It's the really high.
It's the one that does ding dong.
Yeah. I can't. I'm gonna
It's
make
a
the xylophone
percussion
song.
instrument.
Actually, I
Oh,
believe,
yeah.
and Mike might
Alright.
know the answer to this, is it's smaller than a xylophone. It has a French word. It's not a xylophone. It's something else.
I wouldn't know.
It's the same sort of concept as like vibes or a xylophone, but it's not one. It had some fancy word that I forgot.
All right. I guarantee you.
It's a telephone.
Doug,
It was a telephone.
There we go.
Doug will email me with that information.
Yes, he
after
will.
He has listened
Yes.
to the podcast.
Man, you're going to be busy this
as he always does.
Oh,
All right, very good. Well, hey, I wrote a column this week. The title of the column is Manstate.
like it.
Nice. I'm glad you would.
I'd like to tie it on up at the article.
Hey, that's more
Yeah,
than
fuck
last
you.
week. That's
Yeah.
better than last week.
Usually you hate the title and the article.
Yeah, he'll like the first paragraph.
No, you
next
always,
week.
but you always hate the title of anything. Anytime I name something, you hate it. It's
ridiculous.
Like you hate the name of our improv group, Pangea.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It sounds like a fragrance or something that it should
People
not
love
be.
Pangea.
Wait,
Everybody
it
loves
sounds like a
continent.
fragrance.
Yeah, some fragrance.
All right.
that-
Pangea?
Carlos hates
Yeah.
the names of things. Fine.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
weird name.
Fair enough. Okay, so and I wrote about how California is a man state. I get a lot of
Yeah.
crap from my uncles back home in Cleveland about how frou and wimpy and laid back and chill California is, and compared to Ohio. So
Yeah,
I
it sucks when a couple national titles with any of your sports teams, college or professional, huh? Ohio.
Oh.
That's all I gotta say. Is we breed champions out here.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
That's a challenge right there.
what am I going to say to your 3 national championships that were gotten illegally in the last 5 years?
Whoa.
How do I refute that? Arizona State. How do you feel about Reggie Bush in his house?
It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
They should be kicked out of the Pac-10.
Exactly.
Right.
Couldn't agree more. So very good. So
And my
Yeah.
college, they have a street team.
Cal State Los Angeles.
Yes.
Would you guys have pickup games?
Pickup games. Yes.
That's
Ooh.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
with the local high schools.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cal State LA.
Good times.
They're not even D3. They're not even NA.
They're not even like D70s.
They're D9'd.
Yeah, D9. Yes.
D9'd, yeah.
Very scary team.
If there was a game, like, would you be the only one in the stand with a pennant?
Yeah,
Just
I think it
holding
was
up?
this the people who were on the team were also security guards. The police, the Cal State LA police.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
What was your mascot?
It's a golden eagle.
The Cal State Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Cal State LA golden
All
eagles.
right.
Eagles.
All right. That's
Two
interesting.
word mascot
Yeah.
names kind of
Yeah.
elude me, right? There's
Yeah.
not that many.
Blue Devils. They're out
Blue
there.
Devils.
Yeah, there's a couple out
Yeah.
there.
Sun Devils.
Sun Devils.
Devils.
Oh,
Wow, all right.
Anything with devils.
Color me wrong.
Yeah. I mean,
Buckeye's one word.
Buckeye is one word. Exactly.
It's a
Anything to
poisonous.
say about that? Even though I'm a Bobcat actually, but I root for the Buckeyes. So
Oh.
I'm not a college sports guy. I just say it to get under your skin.
as you should. It's one of the few areas where anybody can own me. So I bring it on. Bring it on. All right, very good. So I wrote about Manstates and we talked a lot about California in this piece. And Sean was mentioning something really funny he watched on CNN earlier this week, which this cracks me up because I watch CNN all the time too, and this shit happens all the time.
Yeah, I was watching CNN. It was in the morning. They were doing the weather. And they have, their weather guy kind of stands a little bit away from the anchors. And so the weather guy's doing the weather. And, it's the middle of, it must have been June. So there were a lot of storms going on. And CNN's in Atlanta. So they had some thunderstorm going on. And so he's talking, well, in Atlanta here, 55, we've got severe thunderstorm warning. And, in Denver, there's a snowstorm happening in the middle of June. What the hell's going on with that? Right. And he goes, in California, I got to say, it's, 70s to mid 80s all week. Very sunny, bright skies, and it looks like it's going to continue into that. If not, get maybe a little bit hotter into the next coming weeks. And
that's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, which sounds like a really, wow, California
sounds like where I live. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
What a beautiful place to live.
Right.
And they shoot back to this anchor, and the anchor goes, wow, yeah, California seems like a really great place to live. We could maybe have some of that over here in Atlanta. And the weatherman goes, well, they got beautiful weather in California, but they certainly earn it with wildfires and mudslides and those earthquakes. They got a lot to deal with, but the weather's very, very nice. Yes, the weather's very, very nice.
Right.
Was he the devil?
Right. Yeah. The gang capital of America. The slowly budding Armenian faction that's fighting its way into the Latino black gang war.
And who can forget where the Bloods and the Crips started? Honestly.
The Latin
Well,
kings.
The thing about that is, though, you never actually see any of those things. Like where I live right here in Los Angeles, I never see any of those, but I still get 4 phone calls a week from my mom going like, are the fires affecting you? And I'm like, no, Mom, everything's cool. Everything's great here at the Whole Foods.
I'm safe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I got an email from my cousin Mike, and he was like, "Hey, I was reading the news, and it looks like your house is probably on fire." Because it's like they make it so dramatic.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is. It's very sad that like big parts of the state burn and people do get burned out of their house. But this is a state of 55 million people, or something, 45, 50 million people.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It's the size of 20 other states. And
Yeah, I just thought about that, and now I'm thinking like there are people that are really affected by fires out there, and I'm like, it never happens to me.
Right.
So
wait till
I'm
it's your,
sorry.
Wait till it's your Whole Foods one.
Like, wait till there's a riot in there.
Yeah,
I want to see a riot.
What's the deal with everyone getting all up about this cancer thing? I've never gotten it. What the fuck?
I've never met anybody with it.
Why am I going to do a 5K?
H-mates.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody with it, so it must not exist. It's true. It's true.
It doesn't hurt me.
It's true. Well, it's funny because it feeds into like kind of we talked a little bit too about stereotypes, and you were saying people give you this line, Sean, where it's like oh, that's just like somebody from LA, or that's not like somebody from LA.
They'll say like the biggest compliment that people give me is you don't act like you're from LA.
As if there is a standard way to act.
If there's and I've lived in LA since I was about 6 or 7. I've lived, and I don't even remember not living in LA. And so people will ask me, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'll go, "Oh, I'm pretty much from here. I'm from the Valley." Wow, you don't act like you're from LA. Where were you born? I'm like, "Well, I was born in New Orleans." Oh, that must be it. It's that Cajun thing. And I was like, I moved from there when I was 2 months old. It was nothing. No, you don't act like you're from
you got
LA.
jazz in your veins.
Yeah,
you got the blues.
Yeah, it's like and I don't. But nobody explains what's
Too
wrong
much.
with LA.
Yeah,
They only will say bad. If somebody blows somebody off, it's like that's just an LA thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know we don't really dance at concerts very much. That's the only thing I've noticed is specifically LA is, all right, we don't really we're very calm and reserved at concerts.
As a crowd.
As a crowd.
In a crowd setting, Los Angeles people are very
reserved.
That's true.
And that's the only thing I've noticed about us as a whole.
Yeah.
I was at a Guns N' Roses Metallica concert at the Rose Bowl, and people were lighting fires
Well, that's
and rioting.
Okay, I would say certain bands like those two bands could break through, but we were also at a Foo Fighters concert recently where everybody sat for the entire concert.
Really?
Yeah, but the Foo Fighters.
But that's as fast hard rocking as you get nowadays.
That was also at a Soundgarden concert where people were moshing like crazy. And they had to break it up.
Right, and I'm sure like right now, if you went to some kind of hard speed metal show, you would get it. But
Yeah.
I know what Sean's talking about because, like I said, Foo Fighters. Or if you go to like a Lakers game or a Dodgers game or an Angels game or anything like that, like no shit you would see in other cities, you don't see here.
Well, we just
People
laid
are
back.
generally. Well, I also think one theory that I heard with concerts in general that I kind of take to heart is the first you go to Cleveland, for example, first 10 rows of a stadium to go see a band is like super fans who waited out in line,
Right.
who love this band. First 10 rows of a concert out here is A&R guys, friends of producers, friends of
Right.
people like that. And so they're just there for a show. Like, hey, I got these free tickets to a
and
show.
they set the tone for the crowd.
Yeah, whereas I'd say maybe a place like Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, a place like that, you've got at a Metallica show, you've got serious Metallica fans front row
Yeah.
Homegrown.
who fought to get it. Yeah, whereas out in LA, you've got people who it's like Metallica's kind of cool, so hey, my uncle gave me these tickets to go see Metallica. Maybe. That was a theory that my guitar teacher told me when I was like 11.
The other
Stuck
theory I
with
would
me.
say is that like LA is higher than any other city I've ever lived in or partied in or visited or whatever.
What do you mean, like higher?
Everyone out here is smoking a lot of weed.
Well,
Like,
not me.
not you, but
Again, you're
Well, not
just like
you.
Andrew now.
Yeah, no,
We're-
not- so
oh,
not
because it
accusing
doesn't happen
you.
to Carlos,
Yeah.
it must not happen to this whole state.
Yeah,
No, exactly, yeah.
just because Andrew doesn't think fire exists, you just mean you don't think.
Hey,
I don't think
man.
that.
You were looking at me, man.
Right. I was looking at you for support.
What?
Back me up on
Yeah, that was
I'm
mistake
from
number one.
LA.
Josh.
All right, well that's where I went. That's where I went horribly wrong.
Wow.
Andrew. Now I said California was a man state in the article because like there's just a lot of bad shit that can happen to you here, and you really got to risk it all to come out here. And you had your own thoughts on what you thought was a man state or a wuss state. And like this is what I hope people who write in like comment on because I wanted to hear what other people had to say.
Well, when it comes to like man state, I'm gonna think Alaska. I'm gonna think
Yeah.
Montana. I'm gonna think wilderness. I'm gonna
Yeah.
think like
Yeah,
there's
Montana.
a chance you're gonna get attacked by a bear at some
Montana.
time.
See,
No
now-
Starbucks.
Man,
Yeah.
you know, I would say like possible bear attack could be added to the list of like things that would
Right,
make a man
that's
state.
that to me like getting hit by a Prius is what I feel like. I feel like that's the danger I'm in out here, where like if I attacked by a bear, you know what I mean? I'm in a man state. No, like if a bear attacks me, I'm going to have to suture the wound myself.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's not a hospital.
right.
Well, okay, I bet you Alaska has hospitals.
I don't know about
I've
that.
seen one, so I don't think it exists.
They have
Yeah, funny. He's never thought about them before now.
they have
Interesting.
igloos. They have igloos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, very good. What's Alaska? I'll buy Alaska. I think I have it on my short list. Montana. It doesn't meet the sports requirement, although we could look it up. Montana though. I like
Montana,
that.
it's
Yeah,
so
I-
close to being
I
Montana.
kind of like it too because what Andrew has me thinking now is like any state where if you thought about if I go there, I may have to gnaw off some part of my body
Exactly.
out of a trap in order to live.
Because it's not just a bear attack; it's getting stuck in a bear trap.
trap.
That's so fucking manly.
Right.
Like that's man. It's
Yeah.
just like this was supposed to take down, how big, like a 600-pound animal,
Right.
and I'm gonna gnaw off my leg. I'm gonna beat it.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to beat the
That's
thing a
manly.
bear can't beat.
Exactly.
The most perfectly evolved wilderness killing machine.
Jeez.
I'll defeat this
Exactly.
trap.
It's
Yeah.
like who's top of the food chain now, bitch.
I
Whoa.
agree.
But
I
then
agree.
it's all stereotypes because California does have Yosemite. I'm sure it's got plenty of
Sure.
bears.
Oh, yeah.
I bet
Right.
you there's a bear trap there. So it just depends.
At least one.
There's
It just I think all of us are stuck to that. California is Hollywood. So
Yeah.
therefore that's the stereotype of
Right.
glitz and glam, which
Right.
just depends what you're looking for. I mean, like earlier you were saying surfers aren't necessarily these gnarly dudes. There's some Hi
No.
guys, hey, what's up?
Wow.
let me refer to what he said. Like I was saying, yeah, surfers are all chill and laid back, and Mike had said, well, some of them are not chill and laid back. Some of them are a
Sure.
little more aggro,
Yeah.
So yeah, like it is a stereotype.
I'm
You're
not.
absolutely right.
I'm not.
Absolutely right. You're not a surfer though.
Yeah.
Have you heard of there's a gang, God, now I have to admit that I read TMZ at work. So I read TMZ
You don't
at
have a
work.
real job.
Jeez.
No, I
You
don't.
have
I
less of a
really
real
don't.
job
I
than
know.
Carlos does.
I know.
Yeah, it
What?
really is
I have
bad.
a job.
I watch TV on Hulu all day today. Somebody explained Hulu to me, and then all my bosses, like slowly but surely, people started coming into my cubicle to watch Hulu with
Nice.
me. And at a certain point, my boss walked in. He's like, "Oh shit! I thought there was some meeting or something I missed because everyone was gone. What are you guys watching? Oh shit, 30 Rock.
Nice.
And we just sat and watched Hulu. But that's a sidetrack from. There's a gang called Only Locals or Locals Only in Malibu. It's MLO, like Malibu Locals Only, and they have like tattoos. And what they do is they go to the beach, and if you're not a local from Malibu, they beat the shit out of you. And they're surfers.
I thought it was Rap Beach, but yeah.
serious shit.
Get out of here, Johnny Utah.
Whoa.
Yeah, Johnny
exactly.
Utah. Nice. Good call.
Did they have
he should have gotten his ass kicked out.
Did they attack you on your surfboard, or you're like just walking down the beach?
They had a video of it on TMZ, and it was they were on the beach just beating the shit out of some guy, and then they had a photo
Oh,
gallery.
was it
of people with
when they tried to
tattoos.
take a picture of Matthew McConaughey and they all attacked the photographer?
No, but you're just asking for it there.
Well, I'm sorry.
If you try to
I mean,
take a
I don't know
picture
what
of
that was. Sorry.
It's-
I don't know what that I was just referencing there.
But honestly, guys, what about Amy Winehouse attacking her bodyguard? Come on. Huh? No, that was the headline.
What happened?
That was the headline today.
Wait, what happened?
Listen, I didn't watch that video. Amy Winehouse apparently punched her bodyguard in the face. Or like, did
Wow.
something.
Why?
Who would expect some erratic
Yeah.
behavior from?
No,
I know. That's the
wouldn't
question
know.
everyone's asking
Yeah.
right now. It's like who
No,
shot
here's-
JFK and why would Amy Winehouse?
Well, he
do
should
it?
be
It seems
fired
normal.
because that's not a good
Here's
bodyguard.
here's the question everybody's asking: how are you a USC educated professional, and this is what you do with your day?
Because I made some right decisions early on in life that have put me in this position now.
All right. Fair enough. Andrew, throw me your wuss state. What's your wuss state?
Well, the first one that came to mind, and I've never been there. I don't know anybody from there really. My brother-in-law was born there, but Connecticut.
Connecticut.
And my brother-in-law is like the toughest dude in the world. He flies F-18s in the Navy. He's
Really?
about
Wow.
to ship out. He's the real deal.
Wow.
But for some reason, just the name Connecticut.
You know
You know what it is? I know what it is. It's Who's the Boss. That's what it is. It's the opening song from Who's the Boss, and I forever thought Connecticut is just...
That's Connecticut? I always
Yeah.
thought that was like out in New York, like in the suburbs.
but
But that's what Connecticut is.
Oh, is that
right?
what
So
it is?
it's-
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm from LA.
You know what it is? I think it's that silent C in Connecticut that kind of gives it that
Yeah.
that Colbert.
It should be
effect.
connect.
Yeah.
Connect.
Connecticut.
Right, real states
cut.
pronounce all their letters.
Right.
There's no silent anything in Texas. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, it's that kind of thing.
In fact, Texas, I think technically is Tejas, and they make sure to pronounce the X because they're so manly.
right.
Yeah.
Like everyone's
X.
Tejas, they're like, no, Texas.
Texas.
Say the X.
Wait, yeah,
Texas.
right. TECKSAS.
Yeah.
Texas.
Texas.
Don't mess
Yeah,
with Texas.
That's true. I forgot what was the Who's the Boss theme? I'm trying to think of it off the top of my
Oh,
head.
jeez.
I know.
I could hear in my head.
Because I'm hearing the Family Ties theme. Because whenever I think of an
Yeah.
80s, whenever I think of an 80s,
It's like ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. It's like a simple, real generic kind of thing.
I can't remember
Yeah.
now. All I can think of is Angela.
Angela.
Moaner. Angela. Moaner.
We just find it on your website. Someone.
Yeah, just look it up. I'm not making a link for that.
It was just a
come
real
on.
soft song. I'm
Yeah.
not even going to try to
Yeah.
hum it.
Yeah.
I'd say one more thing with Connecticut though is also it's a long name.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what California has going against it because you think of like tough places again, Texas, Montana. Those are really quick,
Alaska.
few syllables. Even New York.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
that'll
got the-
kick your ass.
it's got that K.
Boston.
Well, not
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Maine.
get my ass
How about
kicked
Maine?
in
Is Maine
Boston.
tough?
Maine's not tough.
No.
Because it's too few syllables. I think
Oh.
2 to 3 is a manly place.
Wow.
We've got to the bottom of this.
2 to 3
mystery.
syllables is manly. Anything above that is like super like intellectual nerdy, and anything lower than that is just dumb.
Huh.
I'd say.
Interesting.
And I honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of like, I think Florida, I don't consider that much of a manly state, although you put it down
I
as
did
one.
put it down there because it's
3 syllables, so you're right.
Yeah.
Scarface.
Scarface,
Huh.
Florida, Miami.
Exactly.
Like think
Miami,
about it.
yeah.
Shit is always going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always going down.
Chicago.
I didn't
3
know. That's a
syllables.
good
3
point.
syllables will kick your fucking
That's
ass.
a good point. Yeah.
Connecticut. That's 4 syllables.
Kentucky.
It's
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tough.
Come on.
Tough.
I'd say the
Yeah.
exception to that rule, though, with 4 syllables, Alabama.
yeah.
I'm afraid to go to
Really?
Alabama.
What'd you do?
I've
I
been
think
there.
I'd get my
I've been to
ass
Alabama.
kicked.
Nice people down there.
But I
Yeah.
feel like you
Good
could
people.
get your ass kicked. I feel there's some
Oh yeah,
people
you
there who
could.
would
Yeah,
kick
you don't
your
want
ass.
to. Yeah, you don't want to. Say the wrong thing. But that's
Exactly.
like any state in between New York and LA.
That's true.
You know?
Iowa. Yeah, that's
Iowa.
Tough. Yeah, that's a tough name. That's a tough name.
Iowa's tough.
Yeah, it just sounds tough.
Nice. Nice.
It's like you go, where the hell is that place?
Maybe if you've had a major battleship named after you. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
We can
Battleship.
parse this.
Well, there's
There was the
a
Iowa.
California.
Yeah, there was a
There's
California.
California.
That's true. That's true. Lois, you were saying how you often get into discussions with people who say, "Oh yeah, they start talking about LA. They get down on LA."
Well, they always get down in LA. They always talk about where they're from. It's not like they're saying that where they're from is better, but they always picture like what Andrew was saying about like the fakecy and everything about LA is so fake and phony. And I kind of get like, well, I'm from LA. I don't feel that way. But then eventually when I start talking about LA, I always make sure that LA's way better than where they're from. Like, we got a better weather,
You're like,
better.
Chicago. Oh, do you guys have a hot dog stand? People wait an hour and a half to eat
yeah,
it? No, because
yeah.
we have Pinks. We
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that. You guys have that? I don't think you have
And
that.
it's just, and it's funny too because I'll start making fun of their accents, you know, and making sure. You know?
I wonder why they think everyone.
Yeah, I don't know why. Don't know.
Why-
Interesting
you're
thought.
a big defender.
Yeah. I'm a big defender and offender.
Thank God we have you as the figurehead
Yeah.
for our state.
Yeah.
It's like you know, like we know some people are from like New Jersey and New York or Texas or they're from the South, and you always, when I listen to those accents, I'm like, who talks? Like, how's that?
You think
happen?
I have an accent?
It's sometimes when you say certain things, like you'll say soda, you know, you'll say pop
say
or
pop
something. And I
Pop,
go like,
yeah,
I'm
Michigan pop.
yeah,
Yeah, he's a Michigan. Yeah,
So
Andrew's
there's always
from
a,
Michigan.
yeah, so there's always a few things here and there, and I go like, that's not correct. That's not.
That's not
the way-
correct.
Yeah,
Who are you to say?
Hey, we're California. We're like, it started from like the U.S. started in the east, and then it slowly progressed into the west.
True.
That's how I see it.
So you imagine like New York's like the monkey, and then we're the
Yeah,
man
like-
as it evolved.
right.
Which I don't know if you've ever been to Chicago. Seeing people in Chicago, I'd agree they're right there in the middle.
In the
right
middle.
to the middle. Yeah.
They're like highly evolved monkeys.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
So that's how I.
Chicago.
That's how I kind of see it. You know.
that's-
No offense, though.
No.
offense.
This is gonna be next week's show. I think is just gonna be each one of us reading an apology letter.
No, we're done. No more apologies.
Me
I think
to,
you just-
to Buckeye fan.
You just
No.
take pride in your city, Carlos. and
I
there's nothing wrong
do.
with that.
I do.
I feel the same.
Do you
way
really
with
have
people.
pride though? Do you guys? I mean, do you guys
I
really,
mean, I
like,
do.
take
I'm
that
from.
seriously?
Yeah, I'm born. And
Yeah, me too.
raised in LA.
Really?
So when people say LA or something, it does irk you. You know, I don't know. You traveled a lot. I don't know what your
You
parents
spent,
did.
you spent those 2 months in New Orleans. You don't
Yeah,
know what it's
I don't know
like.
what's
I
going on.
honestly though, I feel like I don't have pride for anything.
Well, you're young.
I don't.
You're young.
I don't
worry.
care.
Hold
I'm
on.
Irish. I don't
Anything?
give a shit. USC, like I say it as a joke. I don't really care. Westwood seems like a way better place to go to school. I just don't care. Like I really don't. And it's hard for me sometimes because I try to think of something I have pride for.
But it actually makes life better because you don't get bogged down in being disappointed
Right,
by
yeah.
everything.
It's true.
Like the people I know, so many Italians who take like whenever there's like an Italian stereotype or whatever, or they hate the Olive Garden commercials.
They don't-
which-
yeah, they don't like
I hate them. I
Sopranos,
hate them
yeah.
for different levels, but I don't think it's an indictment upon my
No,
my race
I think
or
that's
anything.
very true. Is I never, and I don't get it when people get mad at things. I'll be like, well, come on, you're taking it too hard. And they'll be like, I am taking it too hard. This is my fucking culture, Sean.
right.
And I'm like, really? When did your family come over from Italy? Because I don't know anyone that came from Ireland, and I've never been there, so
Yep.
I don't really give a shit. Actually,
You know, actually, a lot of people don't give a shit about that too. You know,
Hey,
about
listen,
your-
that is my
Hey,
fucking culture,
no, I don't
Carlos.
care. I don't
Hey,
care.
Don't make fun of how he hates all of his culture.
Yeah. Hey, all right. All right.
I don't hate. I
You're
just don't
denigrating
respect
you're
them.
denigrating his lack of belief.
Oh, jeez. Young Kearney.
Hey, Carlos, what's your favorite state motto?
Oh, is what's it called? Give me
No,
liberty. It's liberty or
It's live free.
live free or die.
Isn't that the Die Hard movie?
Yeah,
title?
exactly. How do you
Yeah.
know your
That
state's name? They named a Die Hard movie
That-
after your state's
yeah.
motto.
That is an awesome motto. I mean, I'm not talking about state. That's like something you put on your like a tattoo on your arm, or you put on
Oh,
your
yeah.
like when you're
Your
dying, like
motorcycle.
on your like tombstone. That is something that's like hardcore,
Yeah.
man.
Wait, so you
know?
give the state credit for having a good
Yeah,
motto?
that is like whoever came
That
up
is
with
a good
that in
motto.
the state and represented it, say like like live free or die. That's hardcore.
What about so to counter
I
that?
want
though,
that. I want that guy on my team.
To counter that is, I would say, Oklahoma, okay, which is a quote from the musical Oklahoma.
Wow.
Is Oklahoma's state
That's-
motto?
is good.
See, right there, you just killed a musical.
I know.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
Die Hard
That's a-
movie or musical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to
come
go
on.
with the Die Hard there, and it wasn't like it was like live free or punch me really hard.
No.
or
No.
live free or
Die.
hit me with a brick. You know,
The only
Right.
thing you could do to make that more hardcore is what the Die Hard movie did, is just add the hard
yeah.
after die.
Right.
Like there's
Yeah.
there's nothing
free
else
or
you can
die.
do to
Nothing
make it
hard.
more
Wait,
hardcore.
has anybody done any research on this quote? Because there's a chance Maryland's motto isn't
I don't know.
this.
It's either Maryland, New Hampshire, Vermont. I can't. Sean, look it up.
I don't know, man.
It's one of those.
The iPhone app.
I don't know.
I think Maryland's the free state, if I'm not wrong. But I think it's New Hampshire is live free or die.
I would say,
Yeah.
you know what? I would put $100 on it
if
being
I
New
had to
Hampshire.
bet-
I do not think it is
Well,
Maryland.
whoever did New Hampshire, man, that guy had balls. Because like Washington or whoever, all those guys were like, "Holy shit!"
Oh, that
They're
was,
like, "Whoa, buddy."
that was Josiah Hampshire.
Yeah, what happened? Is that
Well,
it?
what was the pitch like for that? Is what I want to see when they're
Right.
pitching the state motto. When the guy comes in and goes, "I've got it.
I've got it.
I've got the one.
Because we were thinking about live free or go back to Britain and live under a king was what we were thinking.
Yeah.
It seems.
All the colonists, all the new Americans, they were just like, whoa, that
live
is
free
hard.
or go to Vermont.
Yeah.
Yep. Can you see it, Sean? Sean's
No,
looking up on
it's
his.
not.
You're not getting reception right now.
Yeah, I'm
Let me
not.
see if I
I was
get it.
having
We'll come
trouble.
back to
I was
it.
having trouble getting reception before too. So
Yeah.
Worst
off the internet.
house for
we
reception.
might be knocked off the grid right now. Sean, now you liked my Atlas Shrugged reference in the column, which I've read the Rand books. I rarely ever mention this because nobody else, not nobody, but not a lot of people have. So I don't want to throw things in there that everybody doesn't know. But it just seemed pertinent this
Very
time.
smart.
Well, yeah, I noticed. I don't know how much you guys know about the inner workings of the show, or how much I can reveal about the inner workings of the show. But basically, we all get the column.
Shut up.
45 minutes. About 45 minutes before the show, we read through the column so that we can have at least kind of a working knowledge of what we're going to be talking about in the podcast. And so, but we get it on paper. We don't read it on a computer. So Joe has all these links, and especially in this one, there's like 10 links in this column,
Right.
and I can't click on them. And so I gave him some shit for that. Like, thanks for all the links that I can't click on.
Right.
And he said, well, I've got some, some friends and family who might want to go through, and they will click the links. If you, something like the Unfrozen Caveman Attorney, like, I want to see what the Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer is like. I'm going to click that link and watch maybe a YouTube video about it.
Right.
And then I went to the Atlas Shrugged one because I was thinking, oh yeah, they do. They take a little break. They watch. Oh look, that was Phil Hartman.
Right.
And I was like, so do you have the relative who's going to? Well, Joe, I was reading your article, and 6 hours later, I finished reading Atlas Shrugged. What an amazing book. Objectivism. I've never heard of that.
6 hours. That was just the John Galt speech. At the end.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah, it would be more like 3 weeks later. I went back to work.
I found the
What is
quote. It's from it's New Hampshire.
Okay.
New Hampshire. All right.
New
so-
Hampshire.
New
And this
Hampshire.
guy, it says the phrase comes. This is from Wikipedia, so I don't know. It
must be
says the phrase comes from a toast written by General John Stark on July 31st, 1809. It says, "Poor health for Stark, New Hampshire's most famous soldier of the American Revolutionary War, to decline an invitation to an anniversary reunion of the Battle of Bennington, and to send his toast by letter." It said, "Live free or die. Death is not the worst of evils."
Wow.
That's a
Can-
man.
That's
Can
a
you
man.
look up
That
Maryland
is a
though?
man.
I'd like to see what we
think-
thought Maryland was so
I
hardcore.
think
What is their
Maryland is the
motto?
free state, but I could be wrong.
It's just-
I could be wrong.
That's a
So
hardcore dude.
yeah. Hey, now Mike, and I love this because this is pretty Mike. Mike took issue with the fact that I left out a major disaster from the California roster.
Oh yeah,
list of-
absolutely. We're at the Ring of Fire, and it's mega tsunamis.
What, tsunamis?
Wait,
No,
Yeah.
no. Mega tsunamis.
Mega tsunamis.
Yeah, mega tsunamis are much larger than
Not those pansy tsunamis.
Not a wimpy tsunami.
Yeah.
So
I mean, these things will take out like an entire mountain.
if you want to know how
Really?
how the world's gonna end, check out Mike's TiVo list. It's like mega tsunamis.
Wouldn't the tsunami
alien
help?
attacks.
Wouldn't do tsunami help the fires though? If it's gonna take it a mountain, at least
Ring of
because
fire.
yeah,
You
because it's
can't
on
set it
fire.
out.
It can water.
Yeah,
can wash
it would be
out.
kind of a mess though. I mean, like Joe and I, we had a birthday party once, and we rented a beach house in Malibu. And I just remember before we had the party, I just checked to make sure there were no major earthquakes anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. Just because, it's like, you don't want to be partying and having fun. And then all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, you see a rise in water. And it's like, oh, it looks like a wave. And all of a sudden, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then before you know it, you're swimming with your
Mega
drinks.
tsunami.
I'd love to see the email that you wrote to
That was our
cancel that
birthday.
Evite.
That was our birthday, by the way. Yeah.
But I'd love to see Mike canceling that Evite.
Right.
Sorry guys, there was an
But
earthquake
he'd be
off
happy.
the coast
He'd
of
be happy. Like I knew there was.
Well, no, make
mega
no
tsunami.
mistake. I would have just put a disclaimer. And actually,
Hey, we're still gonna party.
Yeah.
Joe,
Bring water wings.
Yeah.
there were 2 bedrooms, and one was on the ocean side, and one was kind of the back. And Joe insisted that he gets the ocean side. I didn't argue with him because I'm like, if there's gonna be a tsunami that hits, it's gonna hit you first.
It would hit me first.
you
Only
know?
Mike
And I would
Cosentini.
save you. I'd try to save you, but it would give me a moment of clarity because if it were me, like in that front room, and the wave just hits, then I'd probably lose control and not be able to keep my sanity. But if it hit you first, then I could collect myself for a second and then throw a life preserver or something.
Only you.
And I
Mike.
had a life preserver in my car, but I forgot to bring it in to the party.
All right.
So I guess
Mike-
it wouldn't have helped much.
Mike, only you can start a story with beach party at Malibu,
Yeah.
only 2 bedrooms, and end with I'd like a tsunami to hit you, Joe, so that I can collect myself and then take you out.
Right, I wish it hit you first.
Yeah.
Sean, we live in a violent world, and I don't mean by humankind. the Ring of Fire. The Earth is moving every day.
Have you ever thought about doing the weather on CNN?
You should.
Oh, absolutely.
Should be on the
Yeah.
Weather Channel.
Mike, I just want to know what like where on the internet do you go? Like, hey, about earthquakes. like don't you think if there's some magic site that's predicting earthquakes?
Yeah, if you're ever interested, there. It's pretty easy these days. I mean, if like a guy farts in the southern hemisphere, you can know about it because of the media.
What?
So like even a 3.5 earthquake, they're gonna register that, and you just go to.
But that still doesn't predict
just
that
go to
the other
the,
one's going to hit
You
somewhere.
go to the Cal Northridge, site, and they have the world like
There you go.
map, and that's all you have to do.
So there is actually
You
an
can
earthquake
see,
site.
like last night, there was an earthquake in Taiwan. It was only a 3.5.
How often do you go to this site?
Oh,
He's
once
on
a
it
night.
right now.
You go there once. You really go there once a night?
Yeah, I just track.
Why?
It late at
Why
night.
would you go?
Yeah.
Like, is there something that you know that we don't know? Are you gonna predict the next?
I think there's a whole lot of shit that you know that we don't know.
Yeah.
I just like to know what the Earth is doing at any given moment.
Why? Why?
Well, the reason is because
I mean, are you gonna stop it from doing from what it's gonna do?
Carlos, I think it's a trust issue. I
No,
don't.
no, it's not.
I don't. It's kind of like being in a relationship with a woman that you don't trust. You just can't.
Wait.
Now I just
And
don't.
Do you track them online?
Look, the Earth kills people every day. I just don't trust this planet. I mean, I think. Have you guys ever heard of the Gaia theory?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well the Gaia
No,
theory.
I haven't. What is
is
that?
it? Okay, the Gaia theory for everybody out there that hasn't heard of it. The Gaia
you.
theory is that is essentially Earth is the living planet, and then we the people are the virus on the planet. So the Gaia theory is that
It's always with viruses.
it's like the body would attack, a virus, right? So it's
Uh-huh.
going to systematically wipe out people, So I try not to spit,
Oh.
Sure,
on the
yeah.
ground if I can help it. But, like sometimes I get, I have asthma and stuff, and it's hard not to. But,
true.
I figure you piss the earth off every time you do that.
Yeah.
And, you always worry about when your number's going to be up.
Yeah,
and
but
I just don't.
but
You
don't
always
trust-
worry about when
Yeah.
your number's going to be up. I take comfort in not paying attention to those things.
The beauty of it is I like being in a relationship with the earth over a woman because you can keep track of it. Like, you can keep track.
Hold on, wait, really quick.
no, you don't
I just
go
want to
any
pose a quick
farther.
question to Andrew.
Hold on.
Andrew,
yeah,
and very answer me honestly, please. You hadn't really met us that much. You had just heard the show. Coming here today, were you legitimately surprised that Mike existed? Like, were you legitimately surprised when he opened the door and said, "Hi, I am Mike"?
Right, when Mike
Constantine"?
actually came out of the hallway and you saw him, were you surprised there was
Yeah.
a person there? Or?
I don't think he's listened
I
to
don't,
that many.
I don't know how to answer that.
He didn't listen.
necessarily.
He didn't listen to that
Like-
podcast.
Have you heard us
You know,
discuss?
I guess I haven't heard his metaphysical rants before. That many. I've listened
that's a
to.
good
They occur once in a great while.
Well, no.
But no,
Yeah, like earthquakes.
isn't
yeah.
it? It is kind of cool being in a relationship with the earth because yes, nowadays
All right.
you know its whereabouts and you know what it's going to be doing.
You're a stalker. You're an
so
earth
like
stalker.
right now there's
Yeah.
a hurricane that's Category 1
Nah.
and it's going away from
So you're saying if there was a website you go to every night to check what your girl was doing, you would log on just to see like where she is at any given time?
No, not if I trust her. No, but
Okay.
if I had any doubts, yeah, it'd be kind of nice to know like what.
What you're
I mean,
really
wouldn't
trying to
any
say
guy,
is you
you
want
know-
to screw your garden, right? This whole loving the earth over
That's
a
what it
woman.
all comes down to.
Honestly,
Is that what that hole is for?
Like,
Those holes are for?
Hey Sean, the other night I had an entire meal out of my garden and I didn't buy a thing.
That is gay.
Now you know what that
John Stark would not
John
agree.
Stark would kick your ass.
He would kill a
That's-
bear and eat it.
That's
he's pointing at me, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
that's
John Stark.
you know what that is? You know what that is, Sean?
What is that, Mike?
the Knicks guard, John
No,
Stark.
no. John Stark is a guy
Oh,
who said,
the general.
live free or die. He's my new hero.
Wait, did he say live free or did he say live free or garden?
Yeah, no.
No, it was live
no.
free or die.
It was
That's
live
right.
free or
Live free
die.
that's
Garden.
But I'm gonna say like
Yeah.
eating just out of the garden it was nice because you know what that is? It's progress, Sean. It's progress
For who?
for me.
All right.
'Cause I didn't have to go to the store.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, because you becoming more antisocial is certainly progress.
It was delicious too.
All right. Very
I'll
good.
convert you someday.
Very
Delicious
We're
progress.
Sure, we will. All right, we've Andrew, we've come to the final portion of the show.
Thank God.
We're gonna go
Sure.
around. So kind of start to think of your final aftermath here, and we've reached the aftermath. There it is. Very good. So this is the part of the show where we kind of start to wrap things up. We've had a good show so far. I'm enjoying it. We just had Mike go off on a long rant. So maybe get away from Mike for a second. And do you have anything, Carlos, you'd like to share?
Well,
at
I
this
just saw that Maryland. Let me see their motto. Their motto is in Italian, and the translation means strong deeds, gentle words.
Really?
Now John Stark would not agree with that.
John,
Gentle words, my ass.
who do you think would have done a better job of shutting down Jordan in '97? John Starks or John Stark?
John Starks.
John Starks would have done better.
He would have just put a sword right to the guy.
So you're saying the general from the 19th
general,
century,
he would have been,
would have struck down Michael
come
Jordan.
on, live free or die, man.
I
You
know.
got to be kidding me. This guy's
kidding.
hardcore.
That is pretty hardcore.
You don't
I like
fuck with
the
the guy.
Maryland model. Teddy Roosevelt kind of ripped because that's the same thing as saying like, what's the carry a big stick?
Oh, yeah, walk
speak
softly, but carry a
speak
stick.
soft,
Yeah.
carry a big stick.
Yeah. It does sound like a
dude.
But I would say live free or die reminds me of give me liberty or give me death.
right.
So maybe I
That
know
was
how many
ripped off,
people,
too.
you know? There.
And the other thing too is that I agree. We were mentioning about man countries. I think
Yes.
because Will's from Manstate.
Oh yeah, we talked about man states, but
You know?
you actually had the idea of man country.
my man country would be Thailand.
Why? Now I would not select Thailand off the top of my head, but why? Why?
Thailand, it's crazy. They got like some poison stuff. Sometimes like either you can
Like
eat
poison-
it and drink it, and it's always like some risk value.
Like poison darts.
Darts or some type of
Like-
beer that's like poisonous. They get from snakes. And then like you also see like their bamboo, and, like everything is strong there. Like it's well built, and they got those guys like who are like the smallest guys, but yet they kick ass. They
Yeah.
always kick ass. They're always in those underground fights or
So
something.
whenever there's like some kind of karate tournament on an island or something.
Yeah, and and also that is actually one nation that's never been taken under rule. Like
never been occupied.
occupied by another country.
That's
Well, it's because
interesting.
when you get there and you can do like I feel like people have tried to occupy it
Yeah.
and they've gotten there and been like, we can do whatever we want here, and they've just gone off like prostitutes and gotten in street fights, and then they've been so hungover the next day they've forgotten why they went there in the first place. They're like, what were we meant here to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that that's a place where I would be very careful to walk.
Okay.
the
What's
streets.
your worst country?
Probably Belgium.
Why?
Belgium.
They
Just
have
because
great beer
They
there,
got great
though.
beer.
just because
yeah.
they make chocolate and get high.
No.
Well,
No, but they have
Yeah,
beer. They make beer.
No, Belgium. You always go like, what is that country there for? What, I mean, anybody could take over that. John Starks would have taken over that country like nobody's
it
business.
got taken over every
What
50
about
years.
Exactly.
What about Newfoundland or
Newfoundland.
Oh,
Newfoundland.
there's a lot of hot
that's
girls.
part of Canada.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
lots of like hot girls in Newfoundland.
Are
I
there?
want to say.
Are you
you
sure
guys
you're
are
not
actually
thinking of
talking.
No, I'm thinking
you guys are
of
talking.
Finland.
Go ahead.
You're thinking of Sweden.
Andrew.
Well, you guys are talking about Finland, not Newfoundland.
Yeah, not
Right.
Newfoundland.
Not
I
Newfoundland.
thought
What's
Finland.
Newfoundland?
Yeah, I thought it was
Newfoundland, which is
Newfoundland.
No,
which
it's a
is
province.
Newfoundland.
like you
Newfoundland.
read it as
Oh, Newfoundland.
Yeah,
You mean
Newfoundland.
Finland and Newfoundland.
You mean
Two different
You just
places.
mean Finland.
Finland.
There are
yeah.
hot girls in Finland.
That's
Oh, yeah.
what
Oh,
you would
yeah.
put that in
Some good
category. Of West countries. Finland.
I would say
Really?
3
Yeah.
out of every playmates of the month are probably from Finland.
Yeah, I like Carlos's point though of Belgium. This is a good question for why is it there? What is
Why is it there?
We
What
don't
is its
need it.
purpose?
We don't need it.
You don't need it.
Yeah, Netherlands not necessary.
No.
Liechtenstein not necessary. Luxembourg.
Vatican City, give me a break.
There's some people that might disagree with you on that one.
Oh, please.
Very good. All right.
Well, yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Andrew, any final contributions to the conversation?
Final contributions. Well, I was just thinking to myself what a man country is. And again, I just go back. I'm thinking Yukon, thinking Canada. I'm thinking bear trap.
There's lots of bear traps. I like your idea of like how many bear traps you think are in a country would up the amount that it might, or it could be a man country.
I
or a
think
man
they
state.
measure man country in bear traps. It's like 10 bear traps.
Wow.
It's like the USA Today graphic would be little bear traps going
yeah.
across.
When Thailand is minefields.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, it is
which
true.
is the human bear trap.
Was the last
Thailand.
Rocky filmed in Thailand? The last
No.
Rocky takes
No,
place in
Rambo.
Thailand.
Rambo.
Sorry, the
Yeah.
last Rambo takes
Yeah.
place in Thailand.
The last
and that
Rocky
shit
was
is
in
intense.
Siberia. Rocky
Yeah, was that? Okay.
Rambo was Thailand.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah,
Agreed.
Thailand. All right, Carlos might have his finger on the
You know,
pulse
Russia,
here.
yeah, that's a good man country.
Russia's,
too.
Yeah.
Russia's
Russia's
a
a
man
great man
country.
country.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
that.
where you're going with Finland. Like, up there.
Why do we need
the
it?
Vikings? I'm gonna
Yeah.
think
Vikings.
That's pretty
Vikings.
mannish up there.
Viking.
I would like to create a new Finland.
Oh, boy.
You'll get your chance. Hold
Yeah,
on. We're
yeah.
coming up on you, reverse condor.
They don't get my feathers in a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
so
think
in terms of weak countries,
wuss week, whatever.
wuss countries, I'm gonna think something small. So yeah, I like where you're going, like Luxembourg.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
just small.
Luxembourg, sure.
Belgium's got to be a weak one, just because Germany kept just rolling right over them
Yeah,
every
really.
time they felt like
Anything
it.
got conquered repeatedly by
Jeez.
Germany, probably.
Yeah, so I think France, because France always got taken over by Germany a
See,
bunch
that
of
was,
times.
yeah, that's like a
Yeah. Poor France.
But I'm sure they're nice people there, because I haven't visited. So
I'm sure it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Andrew so on the defensive now. Anything he hasn't done that he needs to but I'm sure it's good. It's great. I'm sure it's
I'm
fine.
positive.
nice people there. Nice
Sure it's fine. I'm sure they're all very nice people. Very good. Mike, why don't you give us your aftermath?
Well, first off, I want to set the record straight.
All right.
Tesla was a 2-guitar band. You were thinking of the 5-man acoustical jam, which was a little different.
What was the was that a
It was Tesla, but they just all played guitars. They just,
Okay.
instead
So
of playing the bass,
it was
you
a
know.
variation of Tesla.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well that's what I meant.
There, just
The
want to set that
I meant
straight.
the 5-man
Yeah.
acoustical version.
Jeez,
So a lot of people on this
Tesla.
podcast would probably get very upset by that.
Well, there's a lot of people that are going to be looking for New Finland on the map later on.
I haven't created it yet. After Carlos's rant on Thailand, I have a coupon for a Thai massage that I was thinking of getting.
Whoa,
but now I'm starting to think against
No,
it.
man massage.
Yeah,
Because, yeah, it might be. And I was kind of hoping for a nice Thai.
Right, that's why you got a
woman.
Swedish massage.
Yeah.
Swedish massage.
There's a you don't want to get a massage from somebody that accepts coupons as a general rule.
That's an interesting point.
There are
That's a good
certain
point.
things I wouldn't like to use a coupon on: lap dance, massage, and surgeon's visit.
You have the feeling it's going to be a less than quality experience.
I'd be less than quality. I'll use a
Right.
coupon for a beer, for food.
Oh,
Hey, where's the $10 off brain surgery?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm gonna Google this and see what other thing comes up on the.
Oh, the girl out front
Price
said
check
you would
this.
totally honor this.
I
so-
see your
Yeah.
point, though. Yeah, coupons. So, yeah, I might not take it up. I don't know.
And also, by the way, who needs Monaco too? Why is there a
Oh no! They have big.
Why
like,
is there a kingdom?
they have
there?
tons of casinos in Monaco, don't they? There's tons of gambling. That's
there
pretty
might be some
mannish.
gambling. There might be some
a
gambling. there.
kingdom, really?
Yeah, it might be a bit much to have a kingdom nowadays.
Gee, the moon is more important than that.
I also think that as far as a man town goes, I think L.A. is definitely a man town
Whoop.
because don't worry, every time this microphone acts up, no one ever hears it in the podcast because I always fix it.
Oh, thank God.
So we always,
wouldn't-
like,
we don't
we
want to
always
draw
say, like-
attention to it.
It's funny. Good thing. Good thing.
No, it's funny because we always say like, "Oh, the mic is acting up," but then I just do this thing and it fixes it, and then
It's
it
because
never
you're
acts
lying.
up.
'Cause you're
Hold on,
lying.
Mike. We need 30 more seconds on the mic acting up.
Please.
Now, I think L.A. in itself is kind of a man town, mostly because of the L.A. River. I think it's a very manly river. It's a man-made concrete river, but I think it has the sensitivity of a woman in it because there's a lot of beautiful graffiti art. And if you ever go along the L.A. River, take the train. Real nice trip from Union Station down to Glendale. It goes all along the LA River, and you see beautiful artwork. So it's kind of the femininity of men, and it's a nice combination, I think. So you know how women are the new men? Well, the LA River exemplifies it.
Yeah, when I see Los Locos homeboys tagged on the side of a wall,
Femininity.
I get a little horny.
Right.
Yeah,
I think woman.
I
And
think
I've,
woman.
I think Eve.
One last thing. I don't want to give the illusion that I don't think the Earth is a horror, or I think the Earth.
Oh, thank
is a
God!
good-
I wouldn't want you to have to write that apology letter.
Right.
The Earth is a good thing, and at the end of the
Never
day, I like going to sleep with it, because that's what you do. You
That's
sleep
good.
on it. And but I do like knowing, by going to this website, what the Earth is doing, because then you wake up the next day and you just kind of know how to treat it. You know if you can take a piss on a tree and kind of bust its balls a little bit, or when to just kind of stay away from it because it's acting up. And I think if every man had a computer sense into a woman's relationship, the relationship would be awesome because you just have an eye into everything and you just know how it works.
I don't know if I'd
Wait,
Well, go ahead.
Sean, I know what you're talking about. Now I realize. I know what you're
It's
talking
true.
about.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played, sir.
And that's my
Well played.
aftermath.
Yeah.
Andrew.
And who needs South Africa too?
Well, all right. That's enough.
The Congo is a cooler place.
That's a huge
The Congo would kick ass, man.
That's enough. All right, very good. Carlos, I agree with all those points. I think you're right on. Right on. Andrew, usually this is the point of the show where we have people promote anything that's going on. Is there anything you'd like to just mention to our audience that they might get down to or find online or just anything in general?
Yeah, I work at the Comedy and Magic Club. We're doing 20 comics a night, every night, all July. It's a real fun show.
Wow.
All the guys do 4.5 minutes, and the Tonight Show comes down and scouts it, and they book a lot of guys on the Tonight Show through that, so that's really fun.
Cool.
And then the other thing I always plug is I bought my roommate's domain name. My roommate's name is Nick Wegener, NICWEGENNER, Nick Wegener. And I bought his domain name because he's out here in Los Angeles trying to make it big.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be hilarious if I bought it and he did hit it big, that he'd have to come back to me one day. He'd have to come back and be like, "Hey,
smart.
Hey, I really need my name. My agent says," and I'm really looking forward to that day. And so all I do in the meantime is I put up like little short videos telling people what he's doing when he's doing it.
So you're trying to promote him so that
You want to get him big.
Yeah.
it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. So that
How much do you think you
could
could get for it? Like, just ballpark it. How much are you going to bleed him for it?
Oh man, like millions,
Nice.
dude. This is. I mean, I'm hoping he hits it big.
Nice.
So.
Some of that.
See, I'm gonna check that website more than the Earth because I actually,
Yeah.
a real man would want to know what Nick Wagner is all
Yeah,
about.
Nick-
It's not the Earth. I'm not worried about the Earth, buddy.
Yeah.
I am the Earth. That's what you're trying to say.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Carlos.
All right.
Jesus.
One other thing, though, Andrew,
Oh.
he's going to have a podcast pretty soon. It's not live yet, but when he does, we'll announce it.
Yeah,
on the-
we'll
on the-
Oh,
link
yeah.
to it on my site.
Yeah, because
We'll
I
make sure-
interview a
yeah.
lot of comics myself.
Yeah.
So
if you like this podcast, you'd probably like.
and I really would love to
Andrew's.
come back and get to the 3-time club, Ed Galvez
Yes.
level.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
That's really a dream
Well,
of
you'd
mine.
have to be
so if we could
totally, completely drunk for
Yeah.
one of those shows.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it'd be part of
Yeah,
that.
the third
Yeah.
show I think must be the Drunken Show.
Yeah.
It's the new. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Cool guys, great podcast. I had a good time, and we'll be back next week.
That's all for this episode of The Second Column. For more information, go to joedonatelli.com.